hello, and welcome to another Volume 1 Live. Hope everybody is having a fantastic day. Thank you for joining us here. Today, as you can tell from the, thumbnail, the description, the title, all that stuff, we are going to be talking about Volume 1 of Witch Watch.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people in the chat before we went live. Some people not quite sure about the series. Some people not really. Some people don't really know what it is about. Mm-hmm. We didn't know much about the series before we went into it either. It seemed to be a very popular series that everybody was really excited about, and so it's fairly new as well. I think it's only, and it's like, I would say it's got about 65 chapters out right now.
Yeah, I think that equates to maybe like 5 volumes.
Five volumes. I think 5
volumes are out,
which is another beef that I have. That we're not getting any. We're not getting any physical copies of this stuff.
We never do get the good ones.
I know.
Ever. We have to wait at least, I'm still waiting on Tokyo Revengers. I'm still waiting on so many series that I want English releases of. It sucks.
I see some people in the chat saying, Witch Watch, this watch.
This watch.
Which is what the stream is called. And I saw somebody before we went live, they were saying, I'm out. I saw the title and I'm out. And I hope they were joking because we're just having a good time.
Much like Witch Watch does. And we could talk about that too.
Like Witch Watch.
But as doing the research, I did look into the mangaka of the manga. And I'm not super familiar with this series at all, but I've heard good things. I've heard it's really funny, and it does have a manga and an anime adaptation. And it's Shinharo Kenta, who's the creator of Skeet Dance.
Skeet Dance. He's the mangaka of Skeet Dance. A totally different series.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Sket? Is it?
I'm sure it's Sket. I think Skeet has 2 E's in it. Does it have 2 E's in it?
And it's not like scat. It's
not scat. That's with an A. Skeet Dance, though, I'm very intrigued about.
Sket Dance. And he's also a former assistant on Gintama.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know. Give me the pronunciation. I'm sure it's Sket, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, one of my favorite comedy mangaka, great Manzai application, Igai Baraisai says.
Yeah, and in terms of the comedy, I thought this was like incredibly funny.
I thought it got more funny as it went on. I wasn't like completely hooked from the first couple chapters. I think there was some like funny things, but I started laughing way more. Actually, when like the class was involved with everything, I thought that was so funny. I love a series like, obviously like Assassination Classroom. There is like, a couple main characters and there's like the class. I feel like if you have a class and you all give them like kind of individual personalities, kind of like Comey, kind of like Psyche K, like, these characters, and I feel like I got a good grasp for them in the first couple chapters in the volume. But I did like the 2 main characters, but it just didn't grab me immediately. I wasn't hooked immediately.
Well, it sounds like we're going to have a lot to talk about then, because I was immediately hooked when it came to the first chapter. Again, I saw some people talking in the chat before we went live about it not seeming like it's a very like plot heavy story. And there is a plot, a running plot, but similar to other series, it's not the focus, I would say. It's not completely or constantly being addressed, although it is, I think, addressed more than something like a Spy Family that also kind of has a plot, but it's not really about that. It's about these characters and their dynamic together.
Yeah, and immediately you kind of get that sense, which I love. Again, I'm all for that, and this is just fun. I felt myself liking it more as I read throughout the volume, and by the end of it, it was like, okay, like I'm excited to see more characters introduced or what this like girl's destiny holds. I feel like it's just like, going to be an ongoing gag where at the end they're gonna be like, it wasn't actually something horrible or something. Yeah. I don't know, but it is just fun.
I mean, again, like, I thought the humor was great. I thought the art was amazing. The covers, the only reason I made such a stink about wanting a physical copy is because the covers to these things are incredibly beautiful. I haven't seen covers this aesthetically pleasing since like a Dandadan, which is only, again, released in Japan at this moment. And even Zom 100, like, it's got this really cool aesthetic to these covers.
It's really like fresh and like uses like colors really well, and it is like, you gravitate towards them because of the volume covers for sure.
Yeah, I can pull one up too, just in case. But I do have the synopsis that I'm going to pull up in a bit before we get there. But I want to say, yeah, in terms of like the characters and the story, I was invested immediately. I had a great time right away. I had, again, I kind of talked about this in the Akane Banashi episode, but I had such a good time that I read an extra chapter just because.
That's against the rules.
I know it's
called
against the
Volume
rules.
1.
I know it's against the rules. But yeah, I always, what's so funny too, I always go back to in terms of like people saying that, having maybe an issue with the plot or there not seeming to be much of a plot and it is just maybe more slice of life. I go back to what a commenter said a long time ago, which might sound like the craziest comparison, but was pretty apt in my opinion, which was that I think in terms of like when I think they commented this when in like a One Piece video or something, but they compared it to the sitcom, the Friends sitcom, and how, it was such a popular show, it was such a good show, and you weren't tuning in every week to see what was happening between characters. Like, you weren't tuning in every week to see what was happening between Ross and Rachel. Like, you were tuning in to see the characters interacting with each other and them getting into, crazy situations. And that's kind of how I feel here. There is a plot. There are things that happen and it is moving very slowly, but it can move so slowly because the characters are super enjoyable in terms of like the magic as well. Like, it's fun. It's fresh. The relationship between the two main characters is fun, is fresh. There are so many times that I thought this series was going to take a very, etchy turn, or I thought it was going to be a very fan servicey moment multiple times throughout, and it never was. Not to say, again, that that's completely a deal breaker. It's a part of anime and manga. But, I mean, it was just refreshing that it didn't. It was cute. It was wholesome. I love their relationship. And again, I love the use of the magic and how the magic is so funny. And and the characters were great. And I love how the mangaka plays also with the dialogue, plays with how characters are speaking to each other. And also at times, Nico, the witch, the main character, is also like speaking to the camera, the quote unquote camera, like she's on some sort of reality show. And it's those interviews in between where she's looking and it seems like someone's asking her a question and she's just kind of like responding. I like that. I really liked a lot of what this did. And again, not to mention the art is phenomenal. I had a great time reading this first volume.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I liked how they played with, I guess, like that type of relationship, like you said. Like, I for sure thought like, okay, well, they're moving in together, like he's gonna get all flustered and be like all blushy and like, like, I can't believe I'm like living with a girl, like, oh my god. And he wasn't the one freaking out, like she was the one freaking out most of the time. She was like making these scenarios in her head and she's like, oh my god, he's hot, he's so hot, oh my god, what am I gonna do, what's gonna happen, we're gonna get into something. Like, I know she's just so funny, she's so likable, and I would just say like so relatable. Like, this is the female protagonist. Like, she's like funny. She's again just like real. Like, this is like what a real girl would be thinking if she was surrounded by this like hot guy all the time. It was just like it was great. I really liked it. Again, it took me maybe like at the end of chapter 2. I was like, okay, this is great. Like. Yeah.
For me, at the end of the very first chapter, I was like, that was a solid first chapter. And the only thing I think, like, the reason I make the fan service point is because there was a moment in class and she's casting this spell that can make things bigger, right? And so she's making, she accidentally makes the other character's like hair, a part of his hair bigger, a part of his arm bigger. She's trying to make his eraser bigger, and she's going to revert the spell, or she's going to, undo the spell, but she gets called on in class and points to herself. And the way that the panel made it seem in my head, I've read so much manga, I'm like, this is going to be a big titty joke. This is going to be a big titty joke.
One of those classic big titty jokes.
Honestly, yeah, in anime and manga, a classic.
It's a classic big titty joke. Yeah.
And it didn't end up. It's a BTJ, and it didn't end up being a BTJ. It ended up being a lot different than that. And so there was another point too where she can conjure outfits out of magazines, but because it's a two-dimensional picture, she can't conjure the back.
Yeah.
I thought, again, this is going to be a moment where it's an ass shot or something. And it wasn't that at all either. I mean, there were so many times it really, and that's why it maybe for me felt like it did subvert those expectations going in, that it seemed at every corner it was going to be that, and it never was. And I really liked that a lot.
Yeah, it was really, I would say, like, refreshing. Again, this was just like a fun read. It is just something to read while you're reading like bigger series, like, you know, coming back from this. One Piece is fun, but I feel like I have to really, like, obviously I'm in it and I have to remember certain key points and remember what that person said because it's going to come back later. And this, I was like, haha,
yeah,
this is just fun. This is just fun old ogre and witch time.
Yeah, it was just a good time. It was just fun. So if you don't know anything about Witch Watch, if you're just tuning in, let me pull up a synopsis for everybody here that Mehgan, maybe you can help read aloud.
The series focuses on Nico Wakasuki, a teenager witch who, after completing her magical training, moves into the house of her childhood friend and longtime crush, Morihito Otogi? Yeah, a human-looking ogre, with the intention of making him her familiar in the hope that this will help them become a couple. That's kind of a crazy synopsis, because I didn't...
You didn't what?
I mean, I understand that she likes him, but I didn't know that was like the whole reason why the familiar thing happened.
It might not be it's definitely not the only reason. But I mean, I do think there's a part of her that really wants that to happen.
Yeah.
Let me pop back over here for a second and check in on everybody, even on Kumu and YouTube. Yeah, let us know if you read this series, what you think about it. If you did, is there anything else about the mangaka or anything else about the series that you want to talk about before we go into it?
No, I think we should just hop in.
Also, I do want to say that, you know, we're playing around and experimenting with possibly towards the end of this episode on every live volume 1. We do a live Wonder Circle where we answer some of your questions from the chat instead of pulling them from comments. And maybe today, if we have enough time, we'll either do the questions from the chat, or maybe we'll call some of you guys in. Maybe we'll call one or two people in who have read the series, or even if you haven't, even if you just have another question that you'd like to ask, just be fun to take advantage of that. And before we start going through it, make sure to tune in to our community live this Wednesday, where we are going to be talking with another YouTuber by the name of Chaz, who is a One Piece card game YouTuber, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of his content. I'm a big fan of what he does, and they have been releasing a lot of One Piece card game information. So he's going to call in, tell us about, you know, how he feels about the mechanics, how he feels about some of the cards that have been released, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. We have some other fun stuff planned, so make sure to tune in Wednesday, probably around 10:30 a.m. It's going to be an early stream, so you're not going to want to miss that. All right, let's start diving into it and going through it. So the first volume is only about
7 chapters.
7 chapters, which is pretty standard, it's a good amount.
Yeah, I think someone in our Discord was like, is it only 7 chapters? It seems super short. Because usually, I mean, it is like about 10 is kind of normal.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? What do you think?
I mean, 7 to 10 is pretty normal, I think. And before we go through, we do have a comment from a wonderful person in our community, Mr. Stealing Your Waifu member. Shout out to him with that little Mehgan icon next to his name in the chat. I read the first volume. This one really wasn't for me. The comedy was a bit of a miss for me. I thought the chapter where she made friends was fun, but her dynamic with the main guy was not for me. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and Mr. Stealing Your Waifu is an opinion that I respect. But I also have to respectfully disagree. I had a blast with the comedy. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's as simple as that. And I understand that this isn't going to be something that is for everybody. But I loved their dynamic, and the comedy hit for me. But again, entitled to your own opinion. So I just like to give a voice to some differing opinions.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I liked it, but I'm not as in love with it, I think, as Josh is. I'm sure if I kept reading it, I might, but I liked it and it was fun, but I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've read in a long time. So yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. So it opens with our main character, Nico. And let me just show you again. I know I keep promising to get right into it, but I got to show you guys.
I know, what the heck?
Sorry about that. I got to just show you guys these physical copies. They're absolutely incredible. And I want everybody to see, if you're interested in this series, what you're going to be getting if you get a physical copy. I mean, look at how beautiful these things are.
And we have no idea when we'll get one, so.
Or if we will ever.
English release. If you obviously, I think like France and other countries might be getting them, but
they get all the good stuff, and I'm sick of it.
I love how in the volume covers too, there's little details of the first volume, like things that entail. Like we have the little like was it Naruto like the fish cake, right? And then we have some other details like when she's paper spell. I really like that.
Same thing with the second cover here. There's a plot point with this mug that we see in the first volume, and then we do meet this character in the
that's scary. Oh yeah, because that's kind of a spoiler.
What?
Just kidding.
And this reminds me of some like AMC preacher shit right here. Dude.
I'm terrified.
I'm terrified too. All right, so it opens up with Nico. She's leaving to go back to the world of back to the normal world, I guess.
The land of the living.
The land of the living. And her mother gives her a bell. This is supposed to be like some sort of good luck charm. And then we see our other main character, Morihito, being bullied by some punk ass kids. Now, I will say that, another manga opening with a character being bullied. I was like...
Another one.
Yeah, another...
Add it to the list.
Yeah, add it to the list.
Or a character who is getting bullied, like I've seen before, like, like I know I can beat them, but I'm not going to.
Right.
Yeah.
So, right out of the gate, I was like, okay, please don't be like everything else. But to me, again, it really wasn't. We learn about ogres and familiars in this world. And basically, our main character goes back to talk to his dad about being bullied. And his dad actually tells him in the first chapter the opposite of what you'd expect most manga or anime parents to tell their kids about, like, using their powers. He says, I just let them beat me. I just let them have it, basically, because I know that I could defeat them without a problem.
It's a Teen Wolf situation.
Yeah, but the dad was like, son, you gotta like beat people up sometimes. He's like, you gotta use your power sometimes, or else it's gonna become habit to not use it. And I was like, okay, Dad, that's great advice.
Well, it's like you have to learn how to restrain it. Like if you never use it, and then all of a sudden you're like, ooh, it's gonna be like your full power. You're not gonna be able to help yourself.
He's trained a lot in Qi Gong.
He's traumatized from his last experience. What do you expect?
He is, but he learned Qi Gong, which is an ancient ogre sort of martial art that has been passed down through generations. And we learn that witches in this world, I also like that too, that witches aren't this super secret thing. They are a thing that you might not want to announce to everybody that you are, but people are aware of their existence and aren't necessarily surprised of their existence, but are surprised because of how rare they are of coming across one.
And I did really like how he was something that, like, he was something else and not just like another human. Like, I was really expecting it to be like this witch and this regular dude who's just her childhood friend.
Right,
she moves back and he has to protect her now. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, he is kind of like obligated to because he has this curse, which like I don't necessarily believe to be totally true. I think they're maybe just using that to like have him be there.
Well, let's explain what that curse is. So basically they talk about familiars being, it wasn't uncommon for a witch to take a ogre familiar. Before, they would take familiars that were any animal, and sometimes that animal, if it was imbued with enough magical energy, could become something else. Like oxes and tigers were familiars that were imbued with so much magical energy that they formed and like made it. I think
did it,
and like there was some freaky human out there. There was some freak out there.
Oh, I thought they did it together.
Well, I think that they said that there's human in there too. So there's ox, there's tiger, and then there's human. I could be wrong, or maybe the ox and the tiger are the only two, but they do look humanoid at the same time as well. Could be wrong about that, but either way, there's some fucking going on either way, and that's how ogres came to be. And these ogres look like, there's nothing ogreish about them.
I know. Before they like announced that they were ogres, I was like, oh, I like how they're really committing to like the anime hair aesthetic, because I feel like a lot of the time with like, obviously you see anime hair all the time, but I was like, okay, they're really leaning into those little spikes. I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, yeah,
that
was
like,
cool.
Oh, they're ogres. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I love it. I was a huge fan of the dad's character design because of, his hair. I was like, I'm sold.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sold. Hot dad alert. Am I right? All right.
Yeah, he looked a litlittle too daddish. There's a fine line. There's a fine line. There's a fine line.
This was super interesting because the dad is telling Morihito that Nico, his childhood friend, is coming back, but she has requested him as a familiar, which he's like pretty shocked by. But then we also learn that there's more to that there is, her mom is a witch of prophecy, a witch of divination magic. And so she has been able to foresee this prophecy that means Nico is going to be in she's going to be in some very big danger. And it's going to take someone like him to be able to possibly maybe prevent it. Prophecies aren't set in stone, but she, I guess, divined his presence as her familiar, and there seemed to be some sort of hope there. So he's got a sense of duty, a sense of responsibility. They flash back a little bit to them as kids, and she was a klutz. Mm-hmm. She was someone who was always, falling over everything, breaking everything, causing trouble. An innocent, clumsy girl, I would say. So she, and also the dad, this again, I can see why it might not be for you, but I liked the mom is going to stay in this like sacred land because that's where her magic is the strongest, and she needs to be able to divine more clear prophecies.
Yeah.
And the dad is like, I don't know really what the dad was like, yeah, and I got a business trip I got to be on, so I'm going to be gone for a long time.
Yeah, okay, I guess. Like, I like the dad. Just keep the dad. Just keep him as a character. He doesn't need to be there all the time. He could be gone and not just be like, I'm going to be gone. Like, you know?
I get it. But it's to set them up in a house alone by themselves.
I guess so.
Wow, Mehgan really didn't like this. Mehgan, express yourself.
No, it's just like, okay, like we see this all the time. And like, I like the dad character. It would have been cool to have him around. I'm sure he'll come back, but it was just like, okay, I guess they're living together alone. Again, I just hated this part. Again, you're really, really in love with this. And I just wasn't. I liked it. I had a good time, but I don't know. It just didn't really.
That's fine.
Swatch me.
Swatch you?
Like, I was trying to rhyme something with watch.
Oh, like, okay.
Watch out.
Watch out. Because I didn't like this series.
Okay, not saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying it wasn't like the best thing I've ever read in a long time. I really liked it. I thought it was funny.
I believe you.
You don't.
And
the
more you try to convince me, the less I believe you.
That's not true.
But yeah, the dad character goes on some business trip. Now they're left alone. She comes crashing through the window and ruins everything, but is able to, with her magic, fix the window. But she needs an object that our main character it feels very connected to, because she uses the connection from, or the, I guess, if you have a lot of, if you really care about this item, if it holds a lot of sentimental value, if you really value it in general, then it's going to be a better conduit for magic, or it's going to be able to allow the witch to draw more magical energy from it. So she's able to fix the window that she comes crashing through, but in the process breaks his like favorite mug, because she's like, do you have anything that means a lot to you? And he's like, yeah, I have this like super rare collector mug.
I liked it. He's like, oh, the window's fixed. Crash. What was that? Oh, it was the mug. It was your favorite mug that, the sacrifice word.
Yeah, the sacrificial mug. He's like, sacrifice. Shout out Lloyd, who loved the facial expressions when she smashed the window. Art was fantastic, and that's another thing.
Yeah, the art was really cute. I really liked. She's adorable. She's so cute. And again, her little like fantasies and her mind going different places. I just thought it was so entertaining.
Yeah. So they're able to fix the window, and then she's like bragging about, because he's like, oh wow, like you have gotten a lot stronger. So she is feeling a little cocky, and she wants to impress this guy. He's grown up to be an attractive guy that she wants to, I guess, date. So she wants to show off what else she's learned. So she starts saying like, I can do this other spell that will take 3D objects and make them 2D. And he's like, you don't have to do that.
She's always like, I can do it. I can do it so good. He's like, you don't just chill.
Yeah,
you don't
have
to
chill.
Use magic. You don't have to do this. Just, I believe you. I believe it. I've seen you do it.
Yeah. And
she's trying to like prove and like show off.
After what happened to the mug, she's like, do you have anything I could do that to? And he's like, absolutely not. No. And she's like, okay.
Never again.
She's like, okay, I'll just do it to myself then. And so she casts this spell on herself that makes her a 2-dimensional paper version of herself, and she starts just like flying out the window. I mean, she gets very nauseous because she's like, all my organs are like, there's like a wave inside of my body.
Like, you're completely flat. And she's like, I know my personality is like super one-dimensional. He's like, no, obviously you're flat.
Yeah. She starts flying all over the city and then gets wedged in between these two buildings. But the reason that's dangerous is because the spell is going to wear off, and she's going to become 3-dimensional again and is going to get squished and die between these two buildings. So there's this moment where he's kind of freaking out. What am I going to do? Maybe he thinks maybe I'll get a vacuum to vacuum her out of this crevice. And then he runs into his bully and basically has this flashback of why, and it's already been alluded to, but why he doesn't want to fight these people, because he did when he was a kid, and he hurt them very badly. So much so that, the even the guy who got beat up was like, yeah, after that, you'll never beat me up again, because now my parents will call the cops. Everybody else is like, yeah, that was crazy.
It's always,
you shouldn't have been able to mess him up that bad.
Always the fucking bully. When they get confronted, when they actually get hurt, they're like, oh my God, like, how dare you? How dare you? I've been bullying you for months on end. And how dare you fight me back? Now I'm going to get the authorities involved. Like, oh my God, it's so frustrating.
I mean, that's some bully shit. That's some fucking weasel shit right there.
It's weasel.
Some weasel shit.
Like, okay, sorry, like, don't expect you to get your ass beat. Like, you expect to do all this and not get your ass beat? I mean, that's why they pick on, like, weaker people, because they know they probably can't get their ass beat.
But he got his ass beat.
Like,
if you hit me again, I'm calling the cops.
I'm like, do it.
Yeah, do it.
I'm a freaking ogre.
I like that thing of like, it's going to take the cops 5 minutes to get here. And in that 5 minutes, I could do a lot in 5 minutes.
Quote from Josh Magic Michaels.
This guy shows up, and he's just a typical stereotypical bully. And he really realizes, the main character, Morihito, realizes like, you know what? I am going to use my power to smash the wall to be able to free her. And I don't need this guy. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
And the guy freaks out.
Yeah, he freaks out, and he has like this like crazy hairdo, and he's like, it means obsessed. More than my life. It means, and they're like, okay, well, you need to reevaluate your freaking life. But he trades, she uses his hair as like a familiar, whatever they call it.
As like a
what is it called?
Sacrifice.
And he sacrifices his hair. And
he doesn't, but
they do it in order to fix the building.
Yeah, so that was a cool way of like bringing all that stuff that we had seen in the first chapter, to a punchline, to a conclusion, where he's like, I'm just going to smash the wall because with magic I could fix the wall. And so they do that, and they're like, but we need something very powerful because this wall was big and we did a lot of damage to it. And then he says, he said he values his hair more than he values his life. And then it just cuts to him being bald. I thought that was it just tied everything together very well and was kind of the end of the first chapter. I mean, there's a little bit of him saying like, I have to look out for this prophecy. I have to protect her because of this prophecy. But that was pretty much the first one. And I thought that was a sweet and a good first chapter. Then it kind of cuts to, the more interview style of delivering lines. And I thought that was great too. It seems like someone's asking her like, do you ever think love will blossom between the two of you? And she's like, you know what? Right now, he does seem a little closed off, but he is a boy and I am working on it.
Yeah, he is going to break down at some point. And I will be there.
Yeah. And then they go shopping to buy stuff. And again, this is why I like the gimmick of the parents being out of the picture because they're going shopping. She's supposed to just be shopping for essentials that she needs. They have a lot of things and she's shopping like they're a married couple. So they're at the store filling up this cart and he's like, we have all this stuff. And she's like, no, I know, but this is for our place. This is for like our house. And he's like, I mean, it's my house and you're living there. And she's like, should we get new curtains? And he's like, we don't need new curtains. But she's making him carry all the bags. He's an ogre. He has some sort of super strength, but they're still heavy, I guess. So she's
I guess he could break a freaking wall, but he can't carry bags.
He was complaining a lot about those bags.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
But she casts a spell on them to make them super light. And he's like, wow, you've learned a lot and your magic can actually be useful, not just a headache. She then declares that she kind of wants to be, he tells her not to tell anybody about being a witch. And she declares to want to be a witch that helps people. So conveniently they come across a burning building with a person stuck inside. And she has to use some of her magic to help. How she does this is gets her broom. And he's like, no way, you're going by yourself. I'm going with you. So they go up, save this person, but the broom can't withstand the weight of 3 people.
It's like, just get off.
I mean, I think he could jump down. Maybe.
He could. There's so many. Strength. Again, yeah, it's like limiting to his character. I'm sure it changes because he's just kind of over it and he's like realizes like, oh, I can love my strength and who I am. But it's like there's so many things you could have done.
I mean, they were working on going down.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted him to do some sort of Hulk thing where he just like grabs the side of the building. I don't know. I don't know
he's
if
a freaking ogre.
Maybe the only reason he was able to unlock that strength is because of the Qigong that he learned, the ancient ogre martial art.
Or jump down. I'm sure he could have been fine.
I mean, 1, he couldn't have been fine, but 2, I guess maybe there's a spell to fix a broken leg. So that makes your point.
But I didn't want it to have been as funny.
Megan hates it.
I don't hate it. I've said it a million times. I just want to read this comment from Silent Stormfall. I can see why Mehgan would be a bit hesitant about the girl live with a boy alone trope since Blue Box is going on right now, but the friendship of the main cast when we meet them is very heartwarming. Yes, I totally agree. I saw another comment too saying my hesitation towards the series, but after I read 10 to 11 to 12 more chapters in, I was completely sold, which is like I can see myself really liking the series, but I got more into it as it was unfolding in the first volume. So I don't hate it, Josh. Okay, I'm just not in love like you.
Okay, fair enough. This is the faraway paladin all over again.
It's not.
I'm just kidding.
It's not. Okay.
It's funny though because they save the woman and this guy, the main character Morihito, he's kind of a hard ass who takes his responsibility very seriously. So in order the broom can't withstand the weight of 3 people, so he comes up with a plan, cast the spell, the light spell, the super lightweight spell on me so that it's only the weight of 2 people. And she does, and it makes everything light. Even his personality. So he's, kind of like I said, he's more
like an airhead.
Yeah, he turns into more of like an airhead, a flirt. He starts calling everybody babe. He's like, chill out, babe. Like maybe for rescuing you, I could get your number or whatever.
And she was like talking about it previously. Like, I wish he would just lighten up a little bit. I wish he would be less hard on himself and take things less seriously. And then like, obviously being with someone like that, you realize like, oh, I like the other version better.
Yeah, for sure. And, it's this whole thing. They land And just to be able to tolerate him or deal with him, she cast it on herself too. And so they're both just, their personalities are extra light, and hers was already light. So they're both just like, the translation calls them airheads. They're just airheads. They're just filling each other full of air, I guess. And the lady's like, yeah, you guys are fucking weird, but thank you. And there's an after effect to the spell that it does make things lightweight, but after a certain amount of time, the consequence for that spell is that it makes things super, super heavy. So the bags become super, super heavy, and also their personalities become super heavy. So it's just them depressed, just sitting at the end, both very depressed. And that's pretty much the second chapter. The third chapter is where you, I guess, really started to enjoy it a lot more, because that's where we get introduced to the class full of weirdos.
Yeah, that was fun.
I like this a lot. There's a Hunter x Hunter joke in it.
There's a couple anime references.
Well, it's funny because the teacher is a hardcore manga fan.
And I was like, damn, let her live. Because they were like, oh, yeah, she's pretty. The makeup can't hide her under eye bags. And it's like,
well, I think that was to show the main character Morihito, because it was to show that like everybody else in the class was drooling over her, and that's how he is. He's not. If he was that way, he'd be super attracted to Nico.
And it was alluding to like her being a anime or manga fan, being up late, doing reading and all this stuff. But I was like, damn.
But her being such a huge fan of anime or manga, more specifically, it just lends itself to all these like really inside baseball, these jokes, these references that she can throw around. A lot of which I say inside baseball because even I didn't really get all of them. Thank God for translation notes between the panels. But the Hunter x Hunter joke had me dying. It just felt like I was reading something that I could see myself writing.
And it was like the thought before you even read it. Like as a manga reader, they know you see that instant like, oh yeah, going. And then it's like when they say it, you're like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah, because the teacher, the homeroom teacher is she's been up late because she's been reading a bunch of what she says doujinshi late at night. And so again, Nico is trying to just like win over Morihito. His eraser breaks. There's this whole bit.
That was when it sold for me.
It was hilarious.
It was so funny. And it just reminded me of something, similar to like Nichijou or Psyche K, or even like teasing Tatagi-san. Like it was just like, he's erasing
Sakamoto Dezuka.
He's erasing it. Oh, it's too short now. That's like super embarrassing. And it's like he's like flustered. It's like, okay, what is he gonna do next? He's gonna use that. It was just so funny. I love that internal dialogue.
Those little, how the lead pencils have the little tiny erasers.
Those are the worst.
They are the worst, and they don't even erase most of the time. They just smudge whatever I'm trying to erase.
Yeah, well, they're made out of freaking like wax or something.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Some of them are good. Some of them are good.
I guess
they're the perfect size. Others are
trash.
Trash. Throw them in the trash. I dump them.
That's insane. That's an insane thing to do. Just don't ever use them.
I dump them.
Yeah, it's so funny because she sees that, and there's this whole like kind of like there's almost this like battle going on between them where she's like flaunting this eraser that she has, and he's like, no, I'm just gonna use this, and then it does break. And so she's like, okay, I'm just going to enlarge it. I'm just going to make it bigger so he can have more eraser to use. And he's going to love me for having like this practical magic.
Yeah, and I thought it was just going to be the eraser was going to be huge.
Right.
Like how it kind of the joke played out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty
But he has
funny.
This little thing on his hair. It's like antenna. This is anime antenna. And he accidentally hits that and it grows this piece of hair that he has like to be giant. And the homeroom teacher, who's a huge fan of manga, she freaks out and she's like, when did Gon Freaks get into class? But then she keeps saying it. She's like, I must have been up way too late reading manga last night. Like I'm starting to see things. I mean, I got freaking Gon Freaks in my homeroom right now.
She's like, I got Gon Freaks, but I like Kurapika the best.
Yeah. And she's like,
Kurapika.
Yeah. She's like, I don't even like Gon that much. And then she's just like, I guess he, made the sacrifice or whatever. I guess this is like endgame for him. And then, she tries to revert it back, but hits him again and makes his whole head huge. And then she starts thinking of him as this like, comic relief, cute style, chibi almost style of character. She's like, I'm really freaking out. I really need sleep. And then she like does it to his arm and whatever.
Yeah, I like the arm. when he's introducing himself to the class and they think he's like a weirdo because he's like holding back and he's like, there's something in my destiny that I have to fulfill. And they're like, oh, he's cringe. He's freaking cringe. He's cringe. A weirdo.
But he's like, okay, I just have to if I own it, then it's going to look like I'm making a joke. And it's going to look like I'm kind of self-aware of what I'm doing. And then there's this moment where she's going to fix it. She says, like, put your arm closer to me so I don't miss again. And the homeroom teacher calls her name and she opens up her hand. And it's been stated earlier that with a whole hand, it makes the whole target huge. And with a finger, it makes like a more specific area huge. So she gets shocked and she opens up her hand towards her chest. Immediately, I've been scarred, okay? Immediately, I'm thinking the next shot, the next panel is going to be fucking Dragon Maid season 2 all over again.
Yeah.
Giant titties everywhere. But she accidentally just made her whole self huge. And so she's a giant. And she's been told to not tell anybody that she's a witch. But now she says, cover's blown, I'm a witch.
Yeah, cover blown first day. And I liked how he was like, I need to talk to you. He's like, oh my God, he's going to confess. And he's like, you better not tell anyone.
Yeah. And he's hiding from everybody, too, that he's an ogre. He doesn't want anybody to know because, again...
People don't want to hang out with him, I guess.
When people found out he was super strong and fucked that kid up, they were like, yeah, you're something else.
Yeah.
There's something more to you. Artist said there's a lot of Demon Slayer references, too. Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of references. Some of them I got. Some of them I didn't. Some of them, again, I think were very deep cuts.
Yeah.
But I think that was a highlight chapter for sure. I can see why it would be the chapter that would really sell you on the series because it had literally, I am not a person. I don't know what is wrong with me. I maybe need to,
You're not a person?
Well, I'm not a person that...
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm not a person, period.
Laughs out loud a lot when I'm reading. Like if I'm alone and I'm reading, I could be reading the funniest thing in the world. And inside, like in my mind, I'm laughing. I'm fucking having the time.
You're like the definition of like a not like a not real LMFAO. Like, are you actually laughing?
But see, that's my argument. Is like
your ass off, or are you like out loud? You're LOLing inside, but that's not the same.
It's technically not the same, but I'm laughing just as much. I don't know what it is. I don't know why that is, but I can't like. I don't know. Maybe it's some childhood shit. Because I would hear my dad. I would hear my dad be like, "What's so funny?" And it's just like, you know what I mean? So you got to be like, nothing. This manga that I'm reading is funny.
Manga. That's sad. Sad. You should.
But I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time in here.
You can laugh out loud now. You can laugh out loud now.
But there's also something like, if you're in public too, and you're just like around people, and then you're just like someone sitting at a Starbucks, and everybody's quiet doing their work, and then someone's just like, ha ha ha. It's crazy.
Okay, well, in public, yeah. But when you're just in the comfort of your own home, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Musa Media 27, Josh, I'm not a person. I'm actually your Zanpakuto spirit. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Wow, this whole time.
Truth's out. I don't know. I hope other people. Gotchi said he relates to that. I hope other people relate to that too.
See, yeah, I laugh out loud.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
And I love that. You're a free spirit.
Because I just can't help. I can't help it. Like I just do it automatically. I'll be like, oh.
But that's the shadow side of that is that people always think that I'm like some fucking, like I'm super uptight.
I'm so fucking.
Really true. I mean, people really think like, because people will like, people have given me things to read, sketches or things to read, things that they've wrote. Or, shown me clips of a sketch that they made or like them doing stand up or something. And inside, again, I'm laughing. But
if you explain that, they're going to be like, okay, dude.
But people will like look at me and be like, yeah, what do you think? You're hot shit? What do you think? You're funnier than everybody? What do you think? You're like Mr. fucking, Mr. fucking I'm better than everybody
Mr.
over here?
Mr. fucking no ha-ha?
Mr.
You Mr. fucking no ha-ha? You're not Mr. fucking LOL?
And I'm like, no, I swear it's funny. And they're like, then why didn't you laugh? And it's like, because I don't, yeah.
Because of childhood trauma. And then you turn it on them and they make them.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same thing with the crying, dude. I can't cry unless I see other people cry.
Okay, that's all in the same boat. That's all in the same boat. And you really have to work on that. And hopefully we can get past that.
Yeah, hopefully we can all
get past that.
Hopefully we all.
But yeah.
See, Moose Romania 27 said, but real talk, been told my whole life I don't emote much. Thank you.
I can't help but emote.
Okay, and
I can't hide my feelings. It's bad though.
No, that's not bad.
Because I'm very angry. You'll know if I'm very angry.
That's awesome. That's transparency.
Because I'm angry right now. I was kidding.
Yeah. You were angry when you read this manga, huh?
Because I turn green and I stomp out. But
anyway,
I was not angry when I read this manga, okay?
You caught that.
I mean, I don't know. I knew, again, like, this has kind of been on my radar for a little bit. I've heard people talk about it. Obviously, I've seen it on, like, Shonen Jump when I was just, like, reading other stuff, especially, like, One Piece and stuff. But I was like, oh, okay, this looks really cute. I really like the art, and I knew, anything magical or anything witchy related or anything like
Maybe
that.
I'm just a sucker for it.
You really are a sucker for it, and it's like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, but again, like I liked it. I enjoyed it. I knew going into it, you would probably enjoy it more than I did, based off of when I was reading the first couple like chapters or like the first chapter. I was like, oh yeah, Josh, I feel like he's gonna really, really like this. But it's not bad.
Okay.
You take it way too personal. It's so, Josh. It's okay to laugh.
It is. I'm working on it. So this is when we meet another character named Kara, who invites Nico out after school.
I thought that was going to be a bully situation.
Me too.
Because, I mean, she did not look happy, but I love the character. I love his two characters. I love, girlfriend group. And especially, like, she's badass. She's like, I don't have a good relationship with boys because I always tell them off. And I'm like, if they're being assholes, that's not a problem.
Yeah. Because there's just the creepiest guys that try to go.
And then what they say after, I was like,
oh, yeah.
What?
Well,
you took it from 0 to like 3,000.
That was probably the most wild thing out of this whole first volume.
God. And they deserve to get their ass beat and they deserve to be told off because they are not cool.
No, yeah. Basically, the three of them decide to go out to a restaurant after school, and these guys confront them outside of the restaurant, like, "Hey, we're
Can we join you on your frontier to the family restaurant?
We're second years.
We're second years.
We got a lot of experience. We can show you around.
We can show you around the school. You've already been around the school. You already know the school.
You're gonna want someone with experience.
You're gonna want a guy who knows his way around the school locker. Okay?
Yeah. And she basically I forget her name. Kara, I think is her name. She like goes off on them, and she's like,
rightfully
she's
so.
like, excuse me, leave us alone. We're just trying to have some food and hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, what was your name again? And then he says his name, and then the other guy, and then the other guy, and then it turns out she's recording them, and she's like, yeah, so these three guys are
what are your names? What are your names?
Yeah, and they're trying to harass us on our way to eat some food. And everybody else was like, oh my God, that was amazing. Even Nico's like, I could never imagine myself doing that. And her quirk is that she's like, it's, I guess people, people think it's cool, but it makes me have the worst luck with guys. No guys want to talk to me. No guys want to hang out with me. No guys want to be around me. And she's like, Nico's like, I don't think that matters. I mean, I think that what you're doing is like way cooler.
Yeah. Because she goes, and then she like says, oh, you're a witch, like that's so cool. And she goes, yeah, I'm just like not anything special. And she goes, no, like what you just did was awesome. Like people can't do that. People can't stand up for themselves. And she's like, oh, okay.
Then it cuts to these freaks outside, and they're, I guess they're embarrassed. And they come up with this, they concoct this crazy manga plan where they basically say like, all right, you see those three girls in there?
You see them in there in the family restaurant. What we're going to do is when they come outside, we're gonna
ambush them.
We're going to ambush them, steal their phones, make them delete the phones, and then we're going to strip them down and take some pictures of us for ourselves.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I was like,
that took a turn. I mean, I get deleting the video. They're like, take their phones,
delete the video, and they're like, yeah,
and
boss,
then strip them down.
And then strip them down and take some pictures of them. I was like, okay. Guys, chill.
Shout out to a beautiful lie, though.
Beautiful lie.
Explosion and...
Thank you.
A super... who with the donation they say witch watch, more like mid watch. I actually enjoyed the anime references and the romance is very wholesome. Wow. broken heart.
I wouldn't say mid. I mean, I would say maybe for me personally, it is in the mid category, middle of the road. Not because there is an end to the road and there's a beginning in the middle and an end to the road. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily mid because it's like it's not like good. I wouldn't say it's mid because it's like like I wouldn't say it's mid because it's like not good. I would just say it's mid because I'm like in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of liking it more and more and more. I'm in the middle of liking it more and more and more, and that's classified as mid for me right now. I wouldn't say mid because it's bad. Don't take me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Okay. All right. You saved it. But also, shout out A Beautiful Lie, because even though they call it mid, they can still say that they enjoy the anime references and the romance is very wholesome. I like that. I like someone with an opinion that's like either Mr. Stealing Your Wife, who's like, it's not for me, but I can see the appeal, or it's pretty mid, but also I like these things about it.
But it's coming from a beautiful lie.
Oh, that's such a good point. Wow.
So it could be just a beautiful lie for you.
It's a beautiful lie. The other stuff at the end, the mid watch is true, but the beautiful lie part is actually enjoy the anime references and the romance is very wholesome. Anyway, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.
Stay strong.
Stay strong.
But the whole ending to that restaurant chapter is pretty sweet because Morihito sees the guys lurking outside, and the other girl is like asking Nico about him, like, yeah, he seems really attractive, he seems really cool.
Yeah, she is pressing her. She is pressing her. Like, okay, what's his deal? What do you knew him? You said you're gonna not walk to school together. You guys walk to school. Like, what's the deal? What's going on? And she pretty much is like, oh, nothing.
Well, yeah. She's like, we're childhood friends. We live together though. She's like, oh my God. She's like, no, it's not like that. And then she's like, well, if you're not interested in him, then hook a sister up, and tell me more about him. And she says, it's kind of like her dialogue as he's dropping down from the sky and
pulling Batman.
Beating the shit. Yeah, pulling the Batman and beating the shit out of these creeps.
I love that part. Yeah. That was a part that I really enjoyed because it's so realistic to like pretty much lie about this person so that like you can take people off of the scent. Because that's so smart.
Yeah,
she's like, oh, what about that guy that you like? And you don't want to say that you like him. You're like, he's kind of not the best guy.
Yeah, she was definitely saying it to throw him off the scent because as she's saying, like, he's not much of a fighter. It cuts to him beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
He's not very reliable. It cuts to him being there. She's saying all these really horrible things about him.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, cool, dodged a bullet. Guess you can't have it all. Guess you can't have a hot childhood friend that you live with.
That's nice.
That's nice. It would only make sense that he'd be an asshole.
And I loved it. Was so cute. It was, she's walking away with her friends and she like obviously sees him behind the bush and she's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's like, damn, high school girls can be so mean.
Yeah.
And this chapter, again, going more forward to the end of the volume, this again sold it for me. I even liked seeing the little like flashback to the two other main girl characters or the two friends, like how they met. And everything was just tied really nicely in this chapter.
Yeah, I like this chapter a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
After this chapter, there's the close chapter, which was a pretty short chapter. I mean, the kind of bit during this chapter was just that, again, Morihito is telling Nico that maybe she could get some different clothes. Maybe she could shake it up a little bit, switch it up a little bit. So she wants to impress him and dress like a trendy school girl or what all the kids are wearing, the fashion. So she goes into like a fashion magazine and does this spell where she can only make the front of the clothes appear because she's looking at a 2D image and not the back. So the back is like just transparent and you could see the back of her bra and her underwear. But there's like zero fan service. Despite me saying that, there's zero fan service. And so she's like, but I really still want to show him. I really still want to impress him. So she's like sneaking out, like, not turning around. And this was really cool too, because again, I thought this was going to be another fan servicey moment where something was going to happen that was going to cause her to turn around.
She falls directly on him, face first in crotch, or vice versa. He trips.
Off. She's completely naked.
He trips and pulls his face head first.
It's like some Rube Goldberg fucking perf shit where it's like he spills hot coffee on himself, which makes him get up and shake his shirt.
Yeah.
And then it causes her fucking shirt to fly off. But he trips on the fluid on the floor and then smacks his face in her titties. And then she's like,
oh my God.
Yeah. They get really creative with those things.
They do. too. More creative than the actual plot that they're writing. But
Let's go.
I will say that this was super funny. I always love when manga or anime do this, and they have like hyper realistic depictions of their characters, like
that was
that
awesome.
serious face, or she's like one wrong move, like I have to be in front of him or it's over, it's done. And it's so funny. And I liked him, it's kind of like a Kobayashi moment where he liked her vintage clothing and he was asking her questions and he was like super into it. And Miss Kobayashi, she loves like classic maids, and she like gets all fired up about maids and stuff. She's just like, okay, well, it's the only outfit I have is a smock. I don't know what you use, but it's 1920s. It's classic.
It's vintage. The materials. Oh my god! Like,
you understand why I wear this? What was it? What was the material? Dang it! I forgot. Moleskin. It was like a moleskin jacket or something. And she's like, that means nothing to me. I have no idea what you're saying. But then he's nice,
He's super nice.
He's like kind of hard on her, and then he's like, whatever, wear whatever you want. I think people look the best when they're more comfortable and what they're wearing.
Yeah.
And I think that you should do that. Whatever you want. I was like, oh.
It was really sweet. And I think that brings us to the final chapter, or I think the final chapter. But this was, again, a really awesome chapter. And I think Morihito had one of the coolest fucking lines. I mean, this is a comedy. People have called it a rom-com, a romance comedy.
Slice
of life, but I think it's a little more than that. It's got a little more plot than that. But Morihito had one of the craziest fucking lines in this last chapter.
What?
I'll talk about it when we get there. But basically, Nico's mom delivers these packages to. This was funny.
This was also so cute. This was also so cute. She delivers these packages, and pretty much he gets all worked up because he's reading this letter from the mom being like, don't spoil her, don't let her have her way, like you got to be strong for her and lead her in the right way. And he's like, okay. And he's like, I'm not gonna help you, like you need to do this yourself. I'm done spoiling you. And she's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just have to use magic because I can't carry these things in. And she makes like a double of herself, but it's like a small version, like a kid version of herself.
Because she gets her mass, everything. It's like the law of equivalent exchange. Like she gets, there's two smaller versions of her.
Yeah, and then she's like just carrying one box in. He's like, that doesn't make any sense.
There's one on each side.
Yeah, you're still you're doing the same amount of work if you just carry one by one. And she goes, okay, well, I'll make two more of myself. And they're all carrying one
and
big box.
Four of her carrying.
Like, this is not helping you. This is actively.
It was great.
It is actively taking you longer to do this.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
It was hilarious and it was cute and it was wholesome.
Cute.
Okay, sue me.
Sue you.
Sue me. But yeah, I loved that moment.
Yeah.
I love that whole gag. And basically he gets frustrated. It ends up helping her anyway. But he finds a note that Nico's mom left that basically talks about this prophecy, either the same or a different prophecy, or maybe she's been able to discover more about it, more specifics about it. And in 2 words, she says, jumped out to her during her prophecy were raindrops and dogs. So now he's on the lookout for rain and dogs, because that's going to mean danger is coming. Yeah,
raining
cats and dogs. She's got to watch out. She's got to be careful.
She has to watch out for cats too.
Well, she would have divined that, but she didn't. The mother.
She doesn't know yet.
Maybe
she doesn't know yet.
Which I also, in the chapter that I read, chapter 8, which is technically in the 2nd volume.
There's a cat.
There's not a cat, but they do talk more specifically about how the mother is able to divine these things, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So nothing to do with the cat.
Nothing to do with the cat.
Okay, you're like building it up like there was something to do with the cat. That's why I was like excited.
You were the one who jumped to that crazy conclusion about cats. Anyway, we got another donation from Inari. Let's go. Shout out Inari, who says, love to finally see you guys again.
Oh God. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Love to finally see you guys again. Once you know it's me, PJ, and want to come in and say, I enjoy the content as always. Much love. Thank you, Inari. Let's go. There you go.
I have to time it really perfectly because I'm like waiting for yours to end, and I'm like, and then I don't when you start talking because I'm like, oh, it's gonna go over you, and like that was the situation like I just did.
Yeah, we shortened one of Megan's Steins Gate sounds. Yeah, and I think she thought I already loaded it.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Soundboard.
It's okay.
But speaking of new sounds, I forgot to play it at the beginning. But should I just wait to the community live to debut it?
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
We got another hot sound that I was working a long time, too long on. When you hear it, you're gonna be like, "What was there to work on?" I didn't have to work as hard or as long on it, but it's fun. So it'll be debuted at the community live. Mm-hmm. Unless I just can't help myself.
You're saying that it will, and then you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. You know what? Actually, fuck it.
Yeah.
You literally just had your finger on the fucking button. You can't help yourself.
I had it on a different button.
Yeah, I saw you.
It was a different button.
It
was that button. It's a different button. Chill the fuck out.
Oh! I just want to throw at you.
Grab something. So raindrops and dogs. And what was really cool about this is it's I don't know if it's raining at this point, but because Nico's so small and there's 4 small versions of her, there's this big dog that starts running down the street. And he runs to protect her because he's thinking like, oh shit, dog. And she also gave him this ward that's this like symbol on this paper, and that will disappear when the danger has been avoided. When she's been able to avoid the danger.
Very helpful.
Very, very helpful. But he still doesn't know when it is. He just knows when it's not, I guess. I guess when it is too. But anyway, not when it's coming. But the dog, he jumps in front of the dog and lets the dog bite him instead of biting Nico. And the owner of the dog, runs over and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. As they do.
Leash your dog. Control your dog.
It might have been a leash. Maybe it wasn't.
Oh, well, control. If you can't walk your big ass dog, don't
have a big ass dog.
Yeah. Find other ways to control it. Because, like, he could have mauled a freaking child.
If he wasn't an ogre, thank God he was an ogre.
Yeah, thank God.
But Morihito drops this line where he's like, it's okay. What did he say? I wrote it down because I was like, God damn, dude, tell that to your fucking bully, dude. Because he was like, it's okay. Sometimes, dogs, they slip out of their leashes. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He says, it's okay. Sometimes dogs slip out of their leashes. No worries. Don't worry about it. And then it cuts to him and he's got these fucking like horns and there's just this like crazy shit behind him. And he's like, I just hope you'll be as forgiving when other beasts slip their leashes. And I was like, oh my God, I got fucking chills, dude. I'm scared.
Yeah, he had the death stare, and then he also had, his ancestors in the back. He had a freaking tiger and a freaking ox.
And an ox.
And that scared the dog and the man.
It scared the dog.
And it scared you.
And it scared me.
Yeah.
It scared the dog, it scared the man, and it scared
Josh.
Yeah, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
But that is pretty much it. At the very end of this first volume, we see someone, it starts to rain, and we do see someone standing on top of a telephone pole.
And that's never a good sign.
Never a good
sign. And it's never someone that is there to just like hang out or say hi. Because, if they're on a telephone pole, like how they get up there, how are they going to get down? And like they want to be out of sight.
Yeah. It's never a good sign. I do feel like it's something that happens very often. There's always some shady character atop a telephone pole.
Yeah.
A mysterious figure.
And in real life, too.
Okay, Mehgan. The cats, what world do you live in?
Which one?
Okay. This one. Which watch? This watch. Thank you.
This watch.
This watch.
Which watch? This watch.
Fucking watch.
This fucking watch right here.
You point to your crotch.
Yeah.
Which watch?
Watch this crotch. Watch this crotch.
Okay.
Which watch? Watch this crotch.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.
But I mean, that was pretty much the first volume, and I read past to the 8th chapter a little bit because I was having a good time. I really enjoyed it.
And whoa. Which volume? I think we forgot to talk about the flying.
We did.
Flying.
We did.
Yeah.
We totally did. We skipped that chapter.
I was like, that was one of the highlights for me. I really liked that.
We skipped a chapter.
We skipped a full ass chapter.
Full ass chapter.
Full ass assless chap.
All right.
I'm trying. Okay, so pretty much they're in a classroom and they're supposed to do like icebreakers and she's a witch, so she's like, okay, I have the opportunity to like she's getting more popular now because people know that she's a witch. And she's like, okay, well, this would be fun. People like using her abilities. They're like, we can use magic. Can we use magic? And he's just like, no, she's not a tool. She's not a toy. We're not going to use. No one's listening to her. She's like, ha ha ha. Like, finally, I'm wanted. Finally, I can do something fun. And they go outside, and she makes this huge like flying circle, and anything in it can fly.
Yes.
So I loved this part. I loved
too.
seeing all of the different class, the people in the class being like, oh, some of the cautious ones are taking their time, and some have already gotten used to playing Dragon Ball. The teacher wishes she could play Dragon Ball, but she has to stay put.
Yeah, that was funny.
And the other ones that are just like flying around and trying to impress girls and just chilling out. I loved that, and I'd love to see all of their individual personalities or where they group in.
Yeah.
And then we also get that crazy moment too. I mean, of course, Truck-chan makes an appearance.
Has to make an appearance.
And he goes in to the circle, flies up, and then Mori pretty much stops him mid flight, and he goes, you know what?
Because she's telling him the whole time, like, just tell people you're an ogre. Like, I've told people I'm a witch, and people are really cool about it. And he's like, yeah, it's different. It's not the same. And again, he has these flashbacks. And then, in that moment, he just said, you know what? Fuck it. And he, like, Superman style, like, stops this truck, catches this truck from falling on everybody. And he says, I'm an ogre. And everybody's like, sick.
Yeah.
And he's like, number one, you're not judging me. And number two, you just believe me. And they're like, I mean, you just held a truck.
I knew. Ogre time.
Oh,
he
that
could
was
really
actually
tell
good.
people
That was
he
actually
was
good.
an ogre.
That pun had some good flavor to it.
Thank you.
That's a good flavor to it.
It could have been like they accepted him, or it could have been a Halloween Town High situation.
Sure. And
that's another ogre that I think of when I think of Halloween Town High. I had one of the most prevalent ogres.
Not Shrek.
Oh, everyone thinks it's Shrek. Think outside the box, okay? Think outside the box. You think outside the box. There's other ogres besides Shrek, okay?
Yeah, I mean, who are you talking to? I mean, I'm the guy who just bought a fucking beholder from Barnes & Noble. I think I have plenty of fantasy references to pull from, all right? Not just Halloween Town High or Halloween Town. How many fucking Halloween Town movies are there? 8?
Like 5.
Well, there's just, the first one, great, cool. Even the second one, you need 5.
They're really good movies. All of them are really good.
I do like to point out that Miles Claiborne did say that telephone pole standards, they do have a history of slaughtering your entire clan.
Ooh, is that a spoiler?
Kind of, but it's not really a huge spoiler.
I don't know who.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not even a huge spoiler.
Yeah, it was very cute, and they just accepted them, and I thought that was nice. And
beautiful.
He could finally kind of let his guard down a little bit and be himself, which was
amazing.
Cool.
Wonderful. Good for him. I'm happy.
Wonderful.
I'm happy. But now that we talked about the chapters that we forgot to talk about,
yes,
that is pretty much the first volume, the first 7 chapters. And if any of this sounds interesting to you, if this seems like something that you like, now you have a little more context. Now you know what to expect going in. And again, I read the 8th chapter, and I think it stays pretty consistent, and it gets pretty good, and it introduces a new character, and it moves stuff a little bit forward. So again, I really had a good time reading this series. It was fun. Did it have this huge plot that was super significant or prevalent throughout the entire first volume or first 7 chapters? No. But it was a really good time, and it was creative. The art was absolutely incredible. I love the characters. I love their relationships. I loved everything I read. I thought the humor for me landed. I loved and appreciated the anime references that I got. And maybe I am just a sucker for magic and anything magical, but I had a really good time reading this. Megan, one more time for the people. What are some of your final thoughts on the first volume of
Again, I thought it was very fun. I enjoyed the world. I enjoyed the setup. Again, I really liked how he wasn't just a normal guy. He had, something magical going on with him too, which was nice. Like I said, I wasn't like completely head over heels over it in the first couple chapters. It took me maybe like 2 or 3 chapters to like really, really get my grasp on the series. But I could see it really, going somewhere. I could see it really taking off. I could see me really feeling connected more with these characters as I keep reading. I again like the art a lot. This is something that I feel is a little fresh with everything else that's kind of out in Shonen Jump right now. Love a female protagonist. I know it's kind of like shared in between them, but love to see it. And
yeah, I mean, it's like leaps and bounds better than something like a Candy Flurry that we read not too long ago that got canceled. I mean, again, that with a series like that, I mean, it was a very interesting premise, and I really enjoyed what I read, but compared to something like a Witch Watch, I think that this is like incredibly superior.
Yeah, for sure.
To something like a Candy Flurry.
And let us know what else. I mean, we stay on top of it for the most part, like what's happening in Shonen Jump, just because we both like seeing new series. But if there's anything out that we should check out that you guys are reading too, I think I saw someone mention Yozawa family. I think that's the one with the Yakuza member and the little girl.
Oh yeah,
I could be mistaken. But yeah, if there's anything you guys recommend, let us know.
There is a new series out.
Yeah.
Looked pretty cool.
This is what I want to read.
I don't know if anybody knows anything about it, but here's the homepage of the Shonen Jump or Viz website. Let me see if I can just pull this up really quick and readjust so everybody can see what we are seeing. But I love, first of all, just the arts and the main character.
I know.
I think this is super cute. I'm super into it.
I'm sold.
And it's
Ruri Dragon. Ruri's day gets weird when she notices she has horns on her head. So cute.
Yeah, this looks so cute.
Have you guys read it at all?
Yeah, if there's anybody in the chat who's read it, I think as of right now, only one chapter is out. But if you've read it, let us know your thoughts, because this, again, just from the image alone, looks super interesting. All right. Well, I mean, that's pretty much going to do it for our Witch Watch discussion. Again, I understand that it's not something that's going to be for everybody, but I do think that if you're in the mood, like Mehgan said, for something a little lighter. I can't remember what series we were talking about recently, but we did have a comment or someone in our chat, in our community, say that that we were talking about a specific series, and I can't remember if we were talking about liking it or not liking it, but they described it as a series that they would read in between other major series. That this was kind of like a more of a, in between One Piece or in between, like, I don't know, bigger, heavier series.
Yeah.
Or Dan or Chainsaw Man. I mean, this was like their kind of like unwind, relax. This is like their bath manga. You just kind of.
Oh, that relax. Sounds nice. Bath manga.
We got some people. Ige Bamyasi says Ruri Dragon is nice, chill energy, and cute analogy to teenage problems. A lot of people saying. Mikael says Ruri Dragon was a one-shot, and now it's being serialized. It's amazing.
Cute. Wow. Can you scroll up a little bit, because there was that manga that I was talking about? Yeah, Yozakura Family. That's the one. Mission Yozakura Family. Been wanting to check that out. But yeah, super cute. I want to check out Ruri Dragon. It just seems so chill.
Definitely. I mean, it definitely is. We could do like a first chapter kind of first impression video on it, or we could wait till some more chapters come out and do what would technically be a volume 1 on that. But in terms of Witch Watch, I just want to say, I feel like from the chat, and I feel like from our discussion, you have all the information you need to decide whether the series is going to be for you or not. I think it's super fun. I know Mehgan came around to it, maybe wasn't hooked right away, but did end up enjoying aspects of it. It's fun. I recommend it. Mehgan, would you recommend it?
Yeah. I would. It was just fun. I mean, I wouldn't go to it looking for this, like,
or say you have to read it.
Yeah, you have to read. I wouldn't say you have to read it. I would just recommend it if I know the kind of taste, if I know what you kind of like, because I
would say if you do read it, you're in for a treat, though. That's what I would say. But again, let us know. These are just our thoughts on Witch Watch. Let us know in the chat. Again, I know people have been talking about it as we've been rambling on, but if you have read it, you like it, or if you're interested or not interested, let us know. That might be it for our Witch Watch discussion, but that is not it for the episode, because now we are going to get to our Wonder's Circle Live. Wonder's Circle.
Wonder's Circle.
I mean, maybe we'll change the name. I mean, I don't know. People. ONERS. Wonder's Circle. Volume 1. Volume Woners. You're a Wonner, like a winner.
Like a winner, you're a real winner, day winner. Winner circle. We get to, it's a circle.
Do you want to take a call, or do you want to look at just some comments? Or so at this point, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any thoughts, anything at all, fire them off in the chat, and we will get to a couple of them. We'll answer your questions, and we will look at what you guys have to say. I do want to say, so Silent Stormfall said that Astra Lost in Space next, ? That being the other series from this mangaka. And if this manga is any indication of this mangaka's like humor and just ability as an artist,
you're going to check out Skeet Dance.
I'm going to check out Skeet Dance. Yeah. And I really want to check it out. It seems really good from what I can tell when you look up this mangaka. That series, Astra Lost in Space, comes up, I think, even before Witch Watch.
Yeah.
So even if that came before, if it's at the same level, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down. Count me in. We got RAR My Pants XD said, will you read JoJo?
Return. Yeah. When will we return to JoJo?
Well, then there's another one that said, will you read JoJo? But to that, there's a lot of people that have been asking about Bleach, right? Which we're definitely not doing.
Yeah. We're definitely not doing. We'll return to it again. We're just, two people. It's a lot of reading, especially when we're doing One Piece each week now, on top of Bleach, on top of these other videos that we kind of, do, on top of doing community lives. I mean, we're kind of pushing it a lot. Not necessarily like pushing like what we want to do this stuff, but it is a lot of reading, so just bear with us for a little bit longer. We couldn't give you an exact date of when it's coming back. Hopefully we can go back to it when we're not completely swamped with other things that we're working on, but yeah.
And just to give you guys kind of an idea, and we did mention it in the last One Piece video that we recorded that's not out yet, but that will be out for our community, our YouTube members and our Patreon members tomorrow morning, and everybody else Thursday. We did mention that, right now, currently, I mean, we're doing One Piece every week, but where we're at in One Piece, the way we have broken it down, looked at every arc, looked at how many chapters are in every arc, the way we have it broken down is that we're only going to have 11 One Piece manga review videos left. And after Dressrosa, that'll be 8. After Dressrosa, which will be in 3 parts, there'll only be 8 left. That might seem like a long time. That might seem like a lot. 11 weeks might seem like an eternity for some people, but it really isn't that much more that we have to cover. And I think we will be able to get through that in a month or two, not a month, 2 or 3 months. I think we said 3 months is probably when we'll be caught up. After that, we do plan on doing other types of One Piece videos, but at the same time, it will free up a slot to do other things on top of us rotating them in with these on Mondays, with these Volume 1 lives. Like our next one that we're doing, that we've already recorded, that's going to be coming out next Monday, is going to be a continuation of Dandadan, where we're going to be talking about the Cursed House arc. Which
was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, and it was just cool to be able to like return to that series and come back to that series. Like Mehgan said, it's only 2 of us. We're doing our best. Is Bleach coming back? Yes. Is JoJo coming back? Yes. When? I mean, we can't give you an exact date, but it'll be back. It'll be back. And those are the 2 that we're going to, outside of like, you'll see other things come out on Mondays. Like you'll see, again, we've been talking about wanting to do a Pluto video for a while.
Yeah.
But in terms of like including it in that rotation, or one of those taking up a One Piece slot after we're caught up on One Piece, I mean, we're definitely going to get back to them. We're definitely going to keep doing them. And those are going to be the 2 that we're going to give some attention to. But also,
yeah, for sure,
we also really do enjoy reading all of these other things and finding all of these other things and talking about all of these other things. And the crazy thing is, the more Volume 1 episodes we do, the more cool series we find out about, and the more we want to continue those series, like World Trigger. I would be interested in continuing a lot of series. I've talked about it countless times, but I would be interested in seeing where Undead Unluck goes, where Witch Hat Atelier goes, or Tillier. I'm sorry. But yeah, so we're doing our best, and with this format, we think we have it pretty figured out.
Yeah.
So, oh shit, we got D La Joy Boy over here with another dono for the Cosplay Fund.
Yay!
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Yeah, and to the Cosplay Fund comment, thank you, much appreciated, and it's going to go to good use. I said that in the previous slide, but it's true. As I've been looking, it's, I don't want to, make it, make anybody feel like pressured to donate or anything, but I'm just saying that this donation and all Cosplay Fund donations are going to go to very good use because as I've been looking more into this Doflamingo cosplay, it is not going to be the cheapest thing to do.
No, and even if you make it.
Well, I'm going to have to make it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the way that we're going to be there, 3 Dressrosa videos, even if we don't do it till the 3rd Dressrosa video, there's no way to order it from another site, like a cheaper site like an AliExpress. There's no way it's going to get here on time.
Yeah.
And I've looked. So it is going to be that I'm going to have to make it. I'm going to have to get boas off of Amazon. I'm going to have to get boa Hancocks off of Amazon and make it myself, which I'm very excited and very happy to do. But boas ain't cheap, turns out.
No, they're not. And yeah, I'm super excited. Obviously for Josh's Doflamingo. There's some other awesome characters that are introduced in Dressrosa that I'm super excited to meet and or cosplay. We love doing it. I mean, again, it does I guess cost money, but it's well worth it because we love it and we love to do it and we love to do it for you guys. So, and
shout out to everybody in the last couple of videos that has been giving us suggestions.
Yeah.
For what to cosplay.
I really appreciate that. And even moving forward, I mean, I should have thought of that way sooner because we've struggled some weeks to figure out who we want to cosplay because we don't want to get spoiled at all. But it's okay. It's happening now.
Yeah, we got another comment. I'm just copying and oh, shooty. Oh, we got another dono from VanTuber.
Monkey to Luffy.
We got VanTuber for the Doffy cosplay. Let's go. Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Musamania27 says, sheesh, baller alert. Any and all donation helps so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I wanted to go up to this George's comment right here, who says, have you checked out the new manga about stand-up comedy, Shoha Shoten? I have not, but I'm going to copy and paste it and check it out if I can get it. Let me look it up really quick. Megan, you want to vamp for me?
I was going to read the chat, but hi. Sorry. Shoten Shote manga.
Oh, you just this art looks cool. It's from the artist of...
I thought it was an actual stand-up comedy special. I don't know why. I was like, the artist of Death Note is doing stand-up.
Yeah, no.
I was like, what?
You thought that the artist for Death Note was doing stand-up.
Yeah, I was like, you're going to look it up? That's wild. No, it's literally just a manga. That makes a lot more sense.
No, the art looks fantastic. I'll pull it up for everybody else to see. Let me just drag it into frame so you can see what we're seeing. I mean, this looks great. I mean,
yeah.
I would be very curious to read a series about stand-up. I mean, we did the Rakugo Akane Banashi.
I loved Akane Banashi.
You wanted to keep reading it in your free time.
Yeah, it's probably, I need to catch up on that. There's a couple series that I'm reading right now.
What else are you reading right now?
I'm reading Zom 100 and there is, let me find it. Shoot. You put me on the spot. I was just reading it the other day.
Oh, yeah. You said it looked like, you said it reminded you of...
Chainsaw Man. Yeah, let me look it up.
I'll look it up too once you find the name. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you showed me some panels of it and it looked cool. Someone says, looking sus. It looks good. It looks good. I don't know if you're talking about Megan looking sus or me looking sus.
What's
or
sus?
us looking sus, or the art looking sus.
Can you go up a little bit? I saw a comment that I wanted to read. Go down. This is from Boba Fettuccine.
Mm-hmm.
You could drop Amazon wishlist and a volume 1 room tour with the merch collection. That's a good idea. I've been wanting to film a studio tour for a while, just showing off all the little details and stuff. But anime wishlist, Amazon wishlist might be a good idea. I don't know how that works, but that's cool.
Yeah, I would love to do like a studio tour kind of thing. I think that would be awesome. And if you guys want to see it, we'll film it. We'll make it happen.
So I've been reading.
Let me look it up.
Hikaru ga Shinda Natsu.
Okay, you're gonna have to spell that out.
HIKARUGASHINDA.
Okay.
Oh, it's separate words.
Let me see it. Here, go off on it.
Yeah, I saw this cover and it really like enticed me. The synopsis is pretty much this boy who has a best friend, and they've been inseparable for years, and out of nowhere he kind of realizes that his best friend isn't who he thinks he is, and that's all a giveaway. Anyone else reading this? It is like a horror type of story, and it is kind of like BL. So if this, the art looks really, really good, and there's some parts that are pretty scary. But I've been having a really good time reading it. I think it is fairly new. I believe it only has like 2 volumes out right now. But it is like super Denji-esque. It's like Denji and Aki. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It is a bit different.
This is some crazy shit right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks crazy. It looks good though.
I don't think it's not like on Shonen Jump or anything, but
okay, having to resort to other methods.
Let me see if I don't think anyone is.
Yeah, I got you asking about Voynich Hotel again. We're gonna get there too. We're gonna get there too.
So many.
We gotta get to Lloyd's D. Day 275 of recommending the Horizon. We got a lot of stuff to get to, but yeah, we can definitely do that wish list, or we could do studio tours. We could do all of that. Like I said, I'm really excited about this new format that we're doing. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the lives. But if you are, then we're gonna be doing another one this Wednesday. This marks what would have officially been the main or the first community live that we were going to be doing, like in the way that we
we had to do the other one.
Yeah, we had to do the other one, but in a lot of the episodes that we pre-recorded were like the first one June 15th, and then we ended up doing one before that.
And the name, guys, let me just type it in the chat for you guys. But
here, let me get you right here. But yeah, you're going to want to stay tuned Wednesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking to, like I said, another YouTuber by the name of, we're going with Chaz, because I'm going to ask him phonetically how to say his name, because I've heard him say it in videos, but goddamn, I'm so bad at pronouncing people's names. As you all probably know.
We should put a compilation of you apologizing for not pronouncing names properly.
Yeah, well, I apologize because, I'm sorry, and I'm not doing it on purpose, okay? I'm not disrespecting your lineage and your namesake on purpose. I'm dumb. I'm a fool, all right?
I'm a fool. I'm dumb.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. He's going to be going through, again, they just released, and I'm excited that we got him when we got him, because they just released on the, if you're interested at all in the One Piece card game, they just released and updated their English, the US or English site.
Yeah.
So they have rules up there now. They have all the card types out there now. And they have an actual release date for the card game, which is, I think, at the end of September, which I think coincidentally is going to be around the time that we're going to be finishing our One Piece, read through around that same time too. And, we might talk about things to get you hyped on. Me and Mehgan, we can't talk about it too much here, but we saw 2 movies that I think people would...
another movie? What other one?
We saw Jujutsu Kaisen movie Zero recently for the first time. I know it took us.
I'm dumb.
It took us forever to watch it. But we also we also watched One Piece Film Z. And I just want to say, I mean, maybe we could talk more about it on Wednesday, but I just want to see one of the best One Piece movies of all time. I mean, we've seen Strong World. We saw Half a Gold and then had to turn it off for spoiler reasons.
Yeah.
We saw some of the Drum Island movie and the Skypiea movie, and we saw I think we saw one other movie. What was the one with the guy who farts all the time? That was Strong World.
Yeah.
Anyway, Film Z, absolutely fucking incredible.
It was great.
Not even as a One Piece movie, just as a movie. It was so fucking good. I loved everything that they did in that movie, down to the finale, the fight, how that ended. It had me heartbroken. It had me the most emotional. I understand that movie Zero, One Piece is taking advantage of you having already become invested in these characters. If you're watching Film Z, you already care about the Straw Hats, you already know about them, so they don't have to do as much work that something like a movie Zero has to do, where they're introducing you to this main character, at least for the first time. But I liked movie Zero a lot, but I mean, watching Z was a completely different experience.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, yeah, just being set up with all the characters. I mean, them doing anything together just makes my heart so happy, and they could do anything. I mean, Chopper can do anything. But it was really, really great, and I loved the main antagonist, Z, who was awesome. I definitely felt like he was a real guy. I mean, sometimes with these villains, you're like, oh, they're so far-fetched and they're so evil, and they're, everything they do is supposed to be threatening, but it's this guy actually believed it. This guy had a clear mission. It was he was on some Thanos shit, okay?
Yeah, he would. I mean, and that's kind of the cool thing that I liked about it. Spoiler alert for movie Z. I would say, maybe minor spoilers, but what I really liked about the villain's goal is that he was a former Marine.
Yeah.
Just the again, when I can empathize and when I can really understand the logic behind a villain, I connect with that villain or that antagonist so much more. And his thing was okay, I hate pirates because I've been hurt, betrayed, people I care about have been killed. I hate them. I want to destroy all pirates. But instead of destroying all pirates, he wants to destroy their dream. He wants to destroy the One Piece, the thing that they're after. His logic is well, if I can just get to the source, cut straight to the source, and destroy the thing that all these pirates seem to be going after, then it kind of works more in my favor than having to go after them individually and just be this bad guy that's taking them all out. I really liked that logic, that idea, get straight to their dreams. What do they want? What do pirates want more than anything? And I'm going to take it away. I'm going to take that away from them.
Yeah.
I thought that was just so awesome and incredible and amazing.
And I've seen a lot of comments. It did have Avril Lavigne. It had Avril Lavigne at the end. It was awesome. It showed all of the characters as kids, and it was amazing. And that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, someone else said too, Griffith D. Joestar, crazy name, love it, said, also seeing previous villains in the movie, making it a well-rounded, it's always good seeing Kizaru. Yeah.
Yeah, all of the characters, it was great. I mean, Kizaru, I don't know if this is I don't want to say any spoilers.
Well, it is a One Piece spoiler for sure. So, post-time skip, around Punk Hazard.
I mean, I just won't say it. I just won't talk about it. We'll talk about it when we talk about it on an episode or something, but it was great.
Yeah, and that's what I think makes these movies, again, I understand that, they already have the benefit of playing to an audience that's already invested in this world and these characters. But
I feel like you could watch this standalone and not know anything about One Piece.
Maybe it would give some small things away. I think.
If it's someone who's doesn't care,
sure.
Someone who's I'm never gonna watch it. I never want to watch it. Maybe this might, I don't know, entice them to keep watching the series. I know if I saw this, because I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth of the One Piece anime for such a long time. If I had watched this just standalone, I might have had a different opinion.
Right.
I might have had a different opinion just because it was just from beginning to end, just a really solid movie.
Yeah. And I do think I have so many questions about like Aokiji Kizaru. I have so many questions about, because I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, and I did my research where we were reading at, there was like Film Z cover pages, and I did my research about, when is it okay to watch this movie without getting anything spoiled. But I feel like the movies showed us things in Z that we haven't seen in the manga yet. Like
maybe
in terms of like specifically with Kizaru Aokiji and like, his current state.
Yeah, I don't want to, but we'll see. I have no idea.
And then someone said Stampede is a good watch between The Reverie and Wano. And Stampede and Movie 6 and Gold are movies that we definitely have. And Movie 6 we can watch. And I know that it has that different animation style, which I'm obsessed with.
Yeah, it looks really, really
and it looks,
cool.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. So blast. We might go more in depth about some of our thoughts. Again, it's just like hard to not. Wednesday will be more of a One Piece stream, so maybe we can get away with saying things that are a little more spoilery.
Yeah.
In terms of like where we're at in the series, but just for the sake of not spoiling it for anybody who's just here right now, we'll save some of our spoiler thoughts for Wednesday. But I had a great time. I had a great time watching actually both of those movies. Talk about Bleach and JoJo. Is that Nolan?
Yeah.
Is that Nolan the liar in the live right now? Everybody say what up to Nolan. The Nolan. He is in the chat.
He always trolls,
right now.
I'm telling you.
He's the best. He's the best. VanTuber, any chance you guys would react to them live as like a movie night with us viewers?
We can't really do that on YouTube, unfortunately.
If we figured out a way to do it, it would have to be that
you play right when we start it, and we just watch it on the screen, and you don't get to see anything else.
Horizontally flipped, and the opacity is halved, and it's like kind of in the background, kind of, and we're blocking it.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, if we maybe did it on like Discord or something, that would be cool. But yeah, probably in the future for sure. Yeah,
and maybe we'll just do the calls. We'll do the calls on Wednesday. We'll have some time. It's going to be a jam-packed show Wednesday. Mehgan has another guest that she wants to reach out to call in on a different Wednesday. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to, as much as we can, we're going to try to reach out to some other creators, some other people in the anime manga space, talk to some people, and bring them on. Hence the whole community live aspect. And once again, if there's anything, I saw Hassan. We did just, add a couple mods in our Discord and officially made Hassan a mod, Lloyd Forger, a mod on YouTube. I saw him spamming the Discord link a couple times. If you want us to talk about anything or react to anything on those community lives, there's a tab or a spot in our Discord for you to do that at. It's under the community live tab. So just go there and post anything that you want us to react to on a community live. And we'll do some call-ins, and we'll talk to you guys. Talk to you guys over the phone. We'll get you in
on the community.
We'll get you in on Vivi.
That scared me.
We'll patch you in through Vivi.
Yeah, if people are saying like use timers, we'll figure it out. We'll do it for sure because we have a lot of different reaction videos planned for the near future. So that is not necessarily a reaction video, but we just have some stuff to figure out.
Yeah. But unless anybody else has any other questions or anything else they would like to talk to us about, that's probably going to do it. The Volume 1 lives are a little on the shorter side, but like I said, stay tuned. And that's because we want to keep it tight just in case you're an audio listener as well.
Yeah.
These will be uploaded for audio listeners on the audio platform the following day. But those community lives are where we're going to be getting them hours in.
Yeah, they're usually like close to 3 hours.
Yeah, sometimes they're like 3 hours long, which I love. I mean, I can do it all day. I still have the dream of doing like a 24-hour stream. And Mehgan can pop in and out. Because I know that's asking a lot. That's asking a lot. Or you could be here for 24 hours.
24-hour stream.
Why not?
You wouldn't sleep?
No. But that'd be part of the appeal. Is to watch me slowly lose my mind. More than I already have.
Oh gosh.
Chainsaw Man reactions, yes, definitely coming. October, right?
Yeah.
And reactions to to part 2 whenever that drops too.
And I think Mr. Stealing Your Waifu had a question about how we're going to go about reviewing Berserk, just because it is coming back. I don't know if it'll be in the done slot. It might be just in the pre-recorded Tuesday slots that we do that come out every other Monday, depending on how like current we want to be. Not sure, but we'll let you guys know how we're going to handle that. But that's coming this month. Oh my God. That's coming this month.
Berserk is I forgot that it's coming like at the end of this month. So what we're going to have to do then, is at least for the first chapter, for sure, as soon as that first chapter drops, the video's coming out. Like a video's coming out as soon as that. Whether it's a live, whether it's a pre-recorded, but it's going to come out ASAP. And then in terms of like, because it's going to be 6 chapters all at once. So we're going to cover all those 6 chapters all at once. And then who knows when the next arc is going to start. But whenever it does, then we might wait for some chapters to accumulate, or we might do it chapter by chapter. We'll just
hopefully hopefully we do. I mean, maybe they said 6 hours. 6 hours. 6 volume 6 chapters. I don't know if they'll be released all at once. It might just be week to week, but like 6 chapters they have ready already. June 24th. Oh my gosh, I can't do it.
Go. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Oh my god,
I'm so hyped. Yeah. Someone said that they're hype. I'm equally as hype.
I'm just like,
shout out Madoy's Blooming. See, he's got that member icon too. Shout out. All right, that's it, guys. Again, if you're a member, or if you're a YouTube member or a Patreon member, you get One Piece tomorrow morning. And if you're not, then it's going to be Thursday. It's going to be Thursday for everybody, and Community Live Wednesday. Kumu Thursday as well. Pop in for that. We still haven't decided exactly what we're going to be doing this Thursday, but it's going to be fun, and we want to put a lot of thought into it and make it a fun time, a good time. So thank you for tuning into another Volume 1 Live. Again, Witch Watch. Oh, I forgot to do this. I forgot to shout out, and thank our wonderful, beautiful, amazing, and hopefully this lines up. Speaking of YouTube members and Patreon members, hopefully this works. Our wonderful, beautiful, amazing. Come on, work. Does it work?
Yay!
Patreon members. Oh, kind of didn't.
Just scoot over. Just scoot over.
Just scoot over. Shout out. Look at all those beautiful names go by. They're going by so fast I can't even read them. We got Diego, I see. Shane, I see.
Jordan,
Moss.
Thomas, Skeleton, Drive.
Thank you guys so much.
D, Aaron.
For all of your support. And thank you guys if you've donated throughout this stream
Cypher.
too. Thank you to donating to that cosplay fund. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for everything you do. Our channel and what we do, we wouldn't be able to do it without you. And that's just the truth. That's just the absolute truth. So before we go, we did have to shout out everybody and express our gratitude and say thanks, because it means the world to us. And if you would like to, again, become a Patreon member or a YouTube member, then all you got to do is go to patreon.com/volume1pod or click join on this video. We also have some pretty cool merch down there, some Done Piece merch, some Volume 1 shirts. But again, patreon.com/volume1pod to get early access to exclusive bonus Patreon podcast, Volume 1 Extra, which is the podcast that we, the most recent Volume 1 Extra that we just put out. We talked about Stranger Things. We talked about Obi-Wan and how I'm so fucking
He's
done, dude.
He's done. It's sad. It saddens me a little bit because you were like, I was kind of out, but now you're kind of out, and it is like, damn, like the hope, it's like seeing a child like grow up to like see like their hero isn't what they thought that they were. It's very like touching. It's very emotional.
Yeah, dude. It's just breaking my heart left and right, dude. It's breaking my heart left and right. And we recorded that Volume 1 Extra before the 4th episode came out, so I thought I was just being harsh. I watched the 4th episode, and I was like, thank God we didn't record the episode before the 4th episode came out, because that would have been harsher.
Yeah.
I'm just a little heartbroken, but it's all good. So yeah, if you want access to that and early access, like I said, patreon.com/volume1pod, click join on this video. But again, liking, commenting, subscribing, leaving a review, even if you're not listening on audio, watching to the very end, view duration, any comments, algorithm gang, all that good stuff.
Yes.
any and all ways.
We love the algorithm gang so much. Every time I see a comment with just a period, my heart flutters.
My heart flutters as well. My heart flutters as well.
My heart flutters as well.
But now that's it. I almost forgot, but can't forget the Patreon and YouTube members. So thank you once again. Thank you for any and all support, no matter how you show it. But that is now it for another episode of Volume 1 live,
baby.
So the only thing left to do now is to get out of here on our outro that's always the same and never changes. But today, since we're live, we can actually go to the chat unless Megan, unless you have some.
I was gonna say which watch this crotch, but I think that's a little bit inappropriate.
It's not as inappropriate as some of the as fucking skeet, whatever the fuck skeet shit you were talking about earlier. That was way.
Willing to pay good money to see Josh's Anya.
I mean, I'll do it. I Ride My Pants XD said, "Broke Boy Gang, don't worry. I was and am still part of the Broke Boy Gang. I was more a part of it. I was a chairman. I was on the council when I was younger, but don't feel bad about that. There, like I said, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff, watching the live to the very end. It means the same. I mean, it means so much.
We got some good ones. Gotchi said, which watch? I have two. That's pretty funny.
That's a good one.
That's really good. Monkey D. Luffy. Until next time, shows Ogre, folks.
Shows Ogre.
That's really good, too.
Which watch? I have two. That's pretty good, too.
Yeah. I like the which watch I have. It's pretty funny.
Damn.
I like that. I like that one.
Which watch? I have two. Shows Ogre, folks. They're both so good.
Until next time, watch your crotch.
I think Lloyd.
Watch this.
Okay, Megan. All right. Okay, so it's between the two. Let's go. Damn, shows Ogre. That's good.
But I already made an Ogre pawn.
All right. So we'll do which watch I have two.
Monkey D is good. Yeah, I know. He kills it.
Yeah, he killed it.
Skeet dance.
Just Money D Luffy, and I've been saying Monkey.
We have.
And I don't know if you just changed it or it's always been
yeah.
But Money D Luffy.
Money D Luffy.
Or as the guy from that panel said.
Monkey to Luffy.
Just know that even though we don't use it, you still killed it. But we're going to go with which watch I have two. So as always, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for listening. And until next time, which watch I have two.
Which watch? I have two. I have freaking two of them.
I have two watches.
I have two watches. Watch out on each hand, on each wrist.
Watch out.
Watch out.
Watches.
I got two.
I got two.
I got two twos for you right here.
Right here for you.